Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be solving a machine from the TryHackMe platform. So without much I say, let's head over to TryHackMe. Alright, so TryHackMe. This is my dashboard on TryHackMe. We go to learn search, and I have a machine in mind. We're going to be trying Brooklyn99. So this is the room we're going to be solving today. Alright, so Brooklyn99 is an easy difficulty machine, so it should be pretty easy and straightforward for us to handle. So let's start the machine. Okay, so we're waiting for our IP address to be ready for us to use. So it will be ready in about 50 seconds. We can add 1 more hour so that we have about 2 hours before the machine becomes inactive. I'm not sure it should take us more than 1 hour to root the box. So this is a pretty easy machine and we should be done with this in less than 30 minutes. Alright, so we still have some time before our IP will be ready. Alright. Okay, so we have our IP address, so I'm copying it, and I've already established a VPN connection to the TryHackMe network. I'm not going to show that here. The purpose of this video is just to show how we're gonna solve the machine, but not the VPN connections. Okay, so you can see that I have my Tanzero already running. I can check that. Alright, so Tanzero is up and running, so we're good to go. Okay, let me enlarge my terminal. So what I will do first is just to create the necessary folders we'll be working with. I'll go to make it a directory, or let me cd into my TryHackMe directory. This is where I store most of my TryHackMe machines I solve. So you can see I have so many already resolved. So today's machine is Brooklyn9. That's the name of the room, Brooklyn99. So like Brooklyn99. Alright, so I'll just make a new directory for our new machine. So I'll call it Brooklyn99. Good. Then we cd into Brooklyn99. List, we don't have anything in this folder yet. So before I proceed, I would like to start off my Tmux, my terminal multiplexer. I want to run on Tmux. Do okay. Alright, so Tmux is running now. Okay, and I have my IP. I will also want to save the IP in a host file, and so I'll echo. This is the IP we got from the machine. and then I'll name it as BK99, Brooklyn99 .TryHackMe. So I'll save it to my host file so that it will be easy to reference. Hosts. Okay, so now it's in my host file. So if I ping Brooklyn99.TryHackMe, I should get some responses. So yeah, we have some responses, meaning our machine is up and running. So we can access it with BK99 instead of typing in the IP address all the time. Okay, so what I'll do first is to run an mmap scan to know the open ports that's accessible to us. So I start with okay, so before I'll rename this window as my nmap window, and then I'll create another window. I'll create another window and name it as miscellaneous. I'll go back to my nmap window and then nmap dash sv for enumerate versions, sc default scripts, on. I'll output the nmap in a file called nmap, and then t, let me use t4, that's the speed of the scan, and then I'll also use pn so that it will skip host discovery, and then the name of the IP or the name of our machine, which is Brooklyn99.TryHackMe, that's the host. Okay, and I think that should be it. Or we can also add a verbose. We can also make it verbose so that it will show us the IPs files it finds them. All right, so we have this, and then we can see that whilst it's doing the scan, it's not gone into the detail scan yet. We can see that we have 3 ports already open. All right, so now the mmap scan is done. We have FTP on port 21. We have SSH port 22, and we also have HTTP on port 80, running Apache server on Ubuntu. All right, so this is our nmap. So we can open our nmap on Sublime or with Sublime. So this is the mmap scan result. So we can have it here anytime we want to reference it. Okay. So let's see if we can get some further details from our nmap scan. Okay, what I see here is that from nmap we have anonymous login is allowed. So we can log into the FTP server using the anonymous credentials. So we can try that first, or we can also try the HTTP. So whichever we choose to try. So I'll start off with the HTTP on port 80. So BK99.TryHackMe. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we have something like a static web page. This is not dynamic. We cannot interact with this web page in any way. It's just static, and it's showing something at the bottom. This example creates this example creates a full page background. Okay, so that's what we have. All right, so let's see if we can view the page source. Let's see whether they have some information hidden somewhere. So we have a comment here. Have you ever heard of steganography? Yes, we've heard about steganography. Okay, hiding information in maybe images, Word files, or other kind of files. So since they are throwing our mind into steganography, we may have the idea that probably something is hidden in this particular image. We can check the source and see. So this is how the image is This is the how the image is embedded. Okay, so it's embedded in the background, and this is the URL to the image. So in the file name of the image is Brooklyn99.jpg. So we can download this image and try to see if we can get any information out of the image, because they threw our mind back into steganography. So let's do that. So we can download the image. So let me go into my mask window, and then I'll wget what am I doing? I'll wget this, and then I'll go back the image name. All right, so this is the URL of the image embedded. So let's see if we can grab it. So we've done that. If we ls, we have the image here. So we can try to open to see whether it's the same image. Brooklyn99. Yeah, so we have that image. All right, so let's clear this. Now what do we have in the image? We can try to find out if something is hidden in the image. So we can use stack height to check stack height info Brooklyn99. So we're using stack height to check if we have any hidden information. Okay, so it's like we cannot actually confirm whether we have information or not, because we have to go past this password. We have to input password before it can show us whether we have information embedded or not. But in this case, we don't have any password, or we don't know what password it is now. Okay, so I'll just break out from here. But I have an idea that we can actually crack the password of stack files. Okay, so we can use an app called Stack Cracker to do this cracking. So Stack Cracker, we have Stack Cracker. We can see how Stack Cracker is used. So let's see what we will need. So to the usage is Stack Cracker, the file you want to crack, and then you can input a word list. Okay, so we can go back to our other pane, and then we start Stack Cracker. So Stack Cracker, so this is the file. The file is the Brooklyn99 that we just downloaded, and then we are trying to use the the infamous RockU word list, and see if we can find our password in that. So let's start it. So it's attempting to crack our steganographic file. Let's wait for it. Okay, it's taking a bit of a time. So while this is being done, we can try to create another window for FTP. Let's name this one FTP, because we have an FTP port open, which we have anonymous login ability. So let's see. So let's go to FTP bk99.tryhackme. That's the host. Let's try to see if we can. Okay, can't look up. Okay, it's BK, it's not BRK. So let's exit. I think we got this wrong. So BK99. So the name we use anonymous. Okay, and the password, we don't enter in a password, so we should be good to go. So we have access. We've been able to log into the FTP. We can DRR. to see what we have in the FTP server host stored. So we have note to jake.txt. So that's the file we have. We can grab this file, and before I grab this file, I may want to create another folder inside our Brooklyn99 folder called FTP, so that we can download everything from the FTP onto that folder. So I'll just make an FTP directory here. If I list, I'll now have an FTP directory. All right, so we can come back here, and then we cd into FTP. Okay, let's cd. Okay, because we already, so let's go out and come back in. Let's exit. Making the same mistake again. The name is BK99, not BRK99. So anonymous. So we're in now. So let's cd into the FTP. So FTP BK99 anonymous. All right, so now we are in the FTP folder. All right, and then we can dir, we can list. So we have note.jake. Okay, so we can actually get this file, get notes. All right, so this should be downloaded into our FTP folder. We can check that out. So if we cd FTP and then we list, okay, so we have the node being downloaded. Okay, so we'll come and access this later. All right, but we can go back to check whether our stack cracking is done. Are we okay? Also, we can find out what is in this node file. So we can cut note.jake. So over here, this is what we are having. Jake, please change your password. It is too weak and Halt will be mad if someone hacks into Brooklyn, into the 9999. Okay, so I think we have a fair idea what might be happening here. So it's like Jake is having a credential which is very weak, which is possible to be cracked easily. Okay, so Amy is asking Jake to make sure that he changes his password because he's weak. All right, so we'll get back to this later, but for now let's go back to our mix pane and see if we were able to crack the steganographic file. So your file has been written to Brooklyn99, so we were successful. So we successfully cracked the file with password admin, right? So the password to the stack file was admin. So we can now try to find other information again. So we can use stack hide again. We'll find the info. Stack hide. Try to get information about your embedded data. Yes, okay. So the password this time around we put admin. So if we put admin, we can see that some embedded file is there. So we have a file embedded called note.txt. So since we know we have a file embedded, we can now try to extract it. So let's try to extract the file with stack hide extract, and then you can extract it. So we put the password again as admin, and then we have the file extracted. Okay, let me check it now. Let's see whether we have. Yes, so we have the file here extracted here, note.txt. So we can check what is in the note as well. So we can cut note.txt. Okay, so from note.txt we have halt password is fluffydog12@99. So we have a username, and then we have password. So we have password for halt. Okay, so what I do mostly is that I always create some notes to make sure that I note all the username, password, and other information as I work through the machine. So I can just use Sublime, and then I'll say BK99 notes.txt. So that's how I want to call the file we'll use to keep our notes. So I'll say creds. So we have halt as a username, and then the password is fluffy. So we have the username here, halt, and then the password. Okay, so what we do is, let me create another window for SSH. So what we do now here is we can try to see if we can SSH, because we have SSH port open. So you see if we can SSH into the machine with these credentials. So I'll say SSH, and then we have halt at bk99.tryhackme. Okay, yes. So we input this password and we paste. All right, so we have success. So we're able to log in as halt. So we have initial foothold into the machine. So we can list and see what we have in here. We have user.text, so we can cut user.text, and then we have the user flag. Good. So we can go back to our machine and try to see if our user flag is actually correct. Yes, so we've been able to get the user flag. So now we can go ahead for the root. Okay, so what I will do is I'll try to check for sudo. All right, so sudo, so halt, so the user halt may run the following commands on Brooklyn. So he can run the nano command without password. So this should be able to give us root. Okay, so he'll be able to run bin nano without password. All right, so what we do here is we go to GTF obins. So GTF obins, and then it's a nano command. So the command that we are going to look out for is nano. So nano, and then from the nano we are doing a sudo. We are trying to use sudo to get the root. So this is what we have. So what they are trying to tell us is that we can run sudo nano. So we get back here, so sudo nano, and now we can use the control. So this sign like this is control R, control X. So control R, you see, so control R means we are reading the file, and control X is we are exiting. So you read and exit. Okay, so if you control R, okay, and then control X, it will not give us the chance to execute a command. All right, so the command we are going to execute actually two commands here. So the first one, we have to reset. So reset, and follow the reset by a shell, which is sh. So we copy this, and then we put it here and see. So we have root. If we check, we have root. So if we check ID, our ID is now root. We'll be able to root the machine. If I do who am I, I'm root now. Okay, let me check the directory that I'm in. I'm still in halt So I have to go into the root directory for the root flag. Mostly the root flags are stored in the root directory. Also, if you don't know what root.txt or where root.txt must be stored, you can always find. So you can find name root.txt and what, so the type will be a file, and then you can list the full path. So it's trying to find where the root.txt can be located. All right. Okay, so it's telling us that root.txt can be found at /root/root.txt. So we can find our root text here. So we just cut it. And then congratulations on rooting the box. So easily we've been able to root it, and here is the root flag. So the root flag, we have the root flag now. So we go back to our machine, and that's it. We've been able to root this box. Okay, so the machine, I don't know if I indicated earlier on, it has two intended paths. So you can actually root this machine going through two paths. So this is the first part. We can also route it from a different path. So let's go back to our mask. Even though we're done with the machines, but we just want to find the other way of routing it if we didn't go through the first process or the first procedure. So we remember that the note we got from the FTP, I don't know if we still have it. Okay, let me go to FTP is 2. Sorry. So this is where we're doing our FTP stuff. So this is the note from the FTP. So let's cut it again. Note. Okay, so it was like, Jake, please change your password. It is too weak and host will be mad. So what Amy is telling us is that he's trying to let us know that Jake password is weak. So we can assume that maybe Jake SSH password is not so strong. So we can crack Jake SSH password. Okay, so let me create a new window. Okay, so this new window, we're gonna do a Hydra. So this is where we're gonna crack our SSH password for Jake. Okay, so here I'll just do Hydra. I can type Hydra. Okay, so Hydra, then I'll do -L for the name that we have. So we have name, we want to crack a password for Jake, and then -P. So -P means we are going to supply a password list. Okay, a list of password to try against the username Jake. And then we have SSH, and then sort of we have BK99.TryHackMe. This is the host, and we are supplying -T for 64 threads, and we have -I for it to start it anyway, and then -V. So -V is going to make it verbose, so we'll be seeing the verbose output. I'll just take off the -V, then we can try to crack the password. And so simply and easily we have a password for Jake. So Jake SSH password is 1 to 9 in reverse. Okay, so I can copy this, go back to my crates, So Jake, this is Jake's password. So we can go back and try another SSH. So let me go to my SSH. So the left pane, this was what we got for halt. So the right pane we'll be doing for Jake. So SSH for Jake. So Jake, and then Jake's password is yes. So we've been able to log in as Jake. Who am I? It's Jake. And then sudo -l to see if we have possible ways of routing, of getting root from Jake. So Jake also has sudo access to the binary, the less binary. So user being less, so you can actually execute this command without password. Okay. So we go back to GTFO beans again and see how we can get root when we have how we can get root with a less binary. Okay, so let's get back here. So instead of nano, now we are going to use less. So less, we are doing a sudo. So if you check the sudo here, so this is the command we have to run. So you run sudo less etc profile, paste etc profile, and then we have a bank and then bin sh. Okay, so the bank, you get a bank and then bin sh. Yeah, so we have root here as well. So if you check id, it's root. Who am I? It's root. Okay, so pwd, we are still in Jake's folder, so we can cd to the root folder. If we list, we can see the root flag here, and then we can cut it, root.txt. Congratulations, so we have root again. So we've been able to root this box through the two paths. So the first part was using the user halt and then the binary of nano, whilst Jake, we use the less binary. So that is it for the video, and thank you so much for watching.